Hey, Dean, Safe Performance back down, and today, again, I can't flip the camera. It's weird. I came in today and did some work on the C5, and then jumped over here to the Escalade. So I jumped on the Escalade and started doing a more thorough, like, you can see this plug has almost no wires left in it. So I got all the cruise control wires hooked up. I ended up going back and hooking up the serial data. I had to trace the TCM, which I have mounted right there. I had to trace the GM LAN high-speed wires back, and I found them at the glow plug module, but the glow plug module out then goes to the coolant heater, which I'm not using that anymore, which then goes out and comes up to this plug where it would then go into the OBD port. So what I did was I took two more wires and I grabbed them out of the glow plug harness. This is the where that module plugs in. So I grabbed them out of there, tied them in, and I used the wires from the coolant heater, so they're the same color coming out, the tan with black and straight tan. And then I loomed them and just kind of, for now, just routed them here. I'm going to shove them through there over, and then I tied them in right there. Tied them into all the GM LAN speed, and these are the two that I ran inside to the OBD port. So I did that, and immediately, yeah, it's got a nice diesel leak from the filters I crushed, but immediately I noticed that when you turn the key on, the shift indicator lights up. So I said, oh, that's pretty neat. But I still had the security lock here. So I read the file again, and I took that file and turned everything off that needed to be turned off with the VATS security stuff, and it actually loaded in even with that serial data line hooked up, which it didn't load prior to that. So I don't know if it was the file or something different, or not having the other LANs, the other wires hooked up for the TCM. So that loaded in, and that was like perfect. And I use EFI Live, the V2, with my laptop, which is still hooked up to the OBD port. But like all the gears select except one, which it's, well, yeah, I guess it does. It's a 4L80E swap, so the cable's a little different from the 4L60, but it does everything it's supposed to do. Traction control still lights up because the truck thinks it has traction control, but the ECM I'm using doesn't have traction control. Don't really care about traction control. Still got to do the fuel level, but the battery volts are reading. And then once I turned the immobilizer key and all that stuff off, I loaded that file back in, and I noticed that when you turn the truck on, so the lock comes on but then goes off like normal. So I thought, okay, let's try. And then it started, and you could see through the CAN bus the oil pressure works, and it is accurate. That's what it used to read in the van. And if you throttle it, goes up just like it used to in the van. The only thing I'm not sure about is the alternator. Oh, that's the steering wheel. Which I know in the van it took a while to turn the alternator on through the